Hello and welcome to the Marc Baxter Show, where empowerment is unlimited. First, let me tell you why it's a need for Marc Baxter. All other talk shows, they're just takers. They take from us, they take our undivided attention, they boost up their ratings, they bring a celebrity to interview, and then they ship them right back out to Beverly Hills in the sunset. And what are we doing? We're stuck on the same couch with the same mentality, the same situation that we started out in. Well, let me tell you, peoples, it's a new day. It's a new time. It's a new era. It's the Marc Baxter Show, where empowerment is unlimited. Hey, I cannot lie to you. I'm so excited to be here again with you. You guys do not understand what this show is doing for me in and throughout my life. To empower you is to empower me. So thanks to you. Give yourselves a hand and welcome back to the Marc Baxter Show. Now, if you remember the last show, we discussed a lot of different things. In particular, you guys as the audience had a lot of questions that you wanted me to answer, and I answered them to the best of my ability. I tell you what, if you have more questions or you inquire more about my life, feel free to write in and I'll answer them again. And we finished the show with a spill on dreams, and we also talked about how to influence the outcome in your life. What we're going to do today, we're going to talk about balance. Every successful person that I know, that I've ever talked to or ever been around, the one commonality, they all aspire to a great balance. That's the most important thing in most of their lives, a great balance. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump right into it. All right, now what I mean by balance is this. We cannot avoid adversity in our lives. But if you're balanced, when that adversity comes, we just tilt. See, when the adversity comes, we just tilt. But see, if you're already unbalanced, if you're tilted already, when the adversity comes, you fall. Now this becomes the question. How many times will you fall before you're so discouraged that you don't even want to get back up? That's why it's essential to have a great balance. You don't want to fall. And then when you fall and you get discouraged and you don't want to get back up, you know what you turn into? You turn into a hater. Because now you start questioning other people that are still standing. And you start wondering and making excuses for why it's okay for you to be down. That's a loser mentality, and I don't want that for myself, and I definitely don't want that for you. This is the common thing, people. Problems leads us to be unbalanced, okay? Now, let me define problems for you. If you remember in the first show, I defined problems as those abrupt challenges that just appear in our life that challenge us. It throws us off balance. It inconveniences us. That's what creates us and pushes us to be off balance. Now, some of the common things that you hear in life that people tell us to balance are things like what? Checkbook, okay, you balance your job, you balance schedules, all of the above. But to me, those are common sense things that we have to balance. I want to dig deeper. I want to explore into other things that we need to balance that's going to help us live a higher impact, more successful life. Things like balancing your emotions. Things like physical balance on your physical nature, your physical stature. I'm talking like balancing your spirituality. And ultimately, we want to balance our socialization and also our relationships. And what I mean when I talk about balancing ourselves emotionally is this. We don't want to get too high or too low. We don't want to go extreme on any emotional level. And what I mean by that, because I know you may be asking, come on, Mark, I love to be happy. It's okay to be totally happy. It is, but let's not lose sight on life's system, on the cycle of life. Life is going to throw you curveballs, and if you're so high up, how far are you going to fall when you come down? So I would suggest when you're happy or you experience success in your life, just go up to about 70%, okay? But in essence, in contrast, when you get defeated or you have adversity in your life, just go down to about 30, okay? When you add it up, do the math. It's still 100%. So you're still working on a high level, all right? Now, another thing I want to tell you is this. Anytime you're too high, right? The biggest time for a letdown is after success. Let me tell you something, people. This life thing is real. You ever hear the term big bank takes little bank? That's what life does to us. If you don't roll with it, you get rolled over, people, and that's how it goes. Now, your emotional state is so key to your balance. These are some other factors that contribute to us being off balance emotionally. Feelings of disrespect. None of us likes to feel disrespected. When we're disrespected, it oftentimes throws our emotional state off balance. So be very, very careful when you're put in a situation where you feel disrespected. Unappreciated or underappreciated. This is another factor that leads us to emotional off balance, okay? Hearsay. How about this? Hearsay. This is the craziest way to get emotionally off balance because you don't even get it straight from the source. You get it from a secondary source. Someone said that someone else said something. We see this on TV all the time. What is it? Basketball Wives. Listen, that's a hearsay show. What happens is a group of them get together where the other ones aren't around. They do some hearsay, they talk about someone, they go back to the other source, create conflict, they get emotionally off balance, and then they fight. That's the basis of the show. Be careful with hearsay. You don't even get it directly from the source. Okay? Now we go into our physical state. You have to be very balanced physically. And all of you out there that work out, great, kudos for you. But don't think just because your outer exterior is built and diesel that it means you're physically kept. No, because what's important is the inside. See, your outside is for show. That's for what everyone else sees. But how well is your blood circulating? You know, what's your cholesterol like? You know, what's your sugar count? That's important to your physical balance. Be very careful to make sure you have a physical balance. Spirituality. I'm not here to tell you what to do or who to worship or who not to worship. But what I'm here to tell you is that it's very essential that you have a spiritual balance. What's going to happen when you get flustered or challenges in life get too hard for you? You have to aspire to something higher than yourself. So I definitely encourage you to have a spiritual balance. Finally, a social balance. How do you treat people? What do you say about others when you're all by yourself with you and another person? That's very, very important. How are your relationships? FYI, if you're in a relationship, ask yourself this question. Is it bringing more pleasure to your life? Success? Do you have better direction? Are you more optimistic about your future? If you can't definitively answer yes to any of those questions, odds are you need to leave that person. And I'm not just talking about a male or female boyfriend, girlfriend. It could be a male on male friend or a female on female friend. If it's not beneficial to you, you need to leave it. I'm not talking about married couples. You need to seek other counsel for that. I'm talking about people that aren't married. If it's not beneficial to your life, you need to leave it. And this is why. Whatever you're going to go through with severing this relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is, it's fixed. Whatever adversity you're going to go through when you leave this person, it's fixed. So just do it now. Because if whether you wait 3, 4, 6, 10 years, for instance, you're going to go through the same thing. So do it now, because then you're saving yourself time, energy, and also you give yourself enough room, leverage room to do something else. It's fixed. Do it now. You ever hear the phrase of don't cry over spilled milk? Well, I created my own phrase. Don't cry over the milk before it spills. See, one thing that we don't want to do, we don't want to anticipate problems or anticipate what someone else is going to say or do. It's hard enough for us to manage our own lives. How can we be in a situation and say, I know what they're going to say, or I know what they're going to do? See, this leads to a pessimistic attitude because most often you're going to be wrong. So you're accruing stress for not just yourself, but for the other person too, and they haven't even showed you the outcome yet. Never do this. This is a bad way to keep or maintain a balance. This behavior puts you at a bad disadvantage, and it's very hard for you to experience balance by doing this, okay? Another thing that we don't want to do, we don't want to focus so much on thinking that other people view us like we view us. For instance, We have problems and weaknesses that we constantly think about, especially when we're in public, because we don't want them to be exposed. So quite naturally, we think that when we're around other people, they're thinking about us like we think about us. But in essence, the people may not even realize that we have a weakness or a problem. They may only want to glamorize our strengths or just be happy that we're around. So don't accrue that stress and throw your balance off by assuming that these people are waiting for you to screw up or looking at your weakness, because in actuality, they might not even know that you have a weakness. Here's the easy solution for that, okay? Just assume that they don't care about it. Assume that they just don't care and live your life. That's an easy solution to avoid thinking about what other people are going to think about you. Focusing too much on other people drains us of our creative energy and doesn't allow us to make good decisions, okay? And it's done subconsciously. This is how this affects you bad, in a negative way. See, because it's done subconsciously, we don't even realize that we're doing it. We just constantly think about, what is this person doing? How are they going to respond to this? What are they doing with this? And we don't realize that it's throwing our balance off. So if we have 100% worth of balance and we're accounting for the whole 100, we never realize that 15% of it is already being used from worrying about other people. So try really, really hard to avoid trying to predict what people are going to say, what they're going to do, and worrying about how they're living their life. Let me give you a word, people. You've heard this before. Perception. You remember in the first show, I said put a bucket out there. Put your hand in the bucket. Ah, that's hot, Mark. Why you tell me to put my hand in the bucket? It's too hot. All right, let me put my hand in the bucket. Oh, it's cold. Who's right? Who's wrong? We're both right, because it's all about perception. I can't tell you that that water's not hot to you, and you can't tell me that it wasn't cold to me. See, this leads into our next part, our next topic. We're going to talk about a pie, a sweet potato pie, right? Why do we in our life, just to camouflage our weakness or our issue, whatever it is, I equate this to a pie. We got one little small piece of the pie that just is a little distorted. It's just not as good as the rest of the pie. Are we going to not eat the entire pie just to hide this one piece? I'm hungry. I'm starving over here. You going to tell me I can't eat? No. You going to not live your entire life to the fullest just because there's one aspect of your life that you're scared that people are going to see, when in actuality, they probably don't even care, or they probably won't even recognize it. Come on, people, that's terrible. How dare you? Listen, we must do better, and we must do better right now. Let me give you 3 names. Tim Tebow, Danica Patrick, Jerry Rice. I know you're saying, come on, Mark, we're not talking sports, this is supposed to be serious. Okay, it is serious, right? But these names and these people are very significant in the message. Tim Tebow, for instance. Had Tim Tebow listened to other people's perception of him and what his abilities were, we would have never been blessed with his talent. Tim Tebow was deemed to have a throwing deficit. He could never play in the NFL. Not only was he drafted in the first round, but he also led his team to win a playoff game and was very heroic in that game. So had he listened to perception, we would never have seen the potential of the gifts that was put in him. Danica Patrick, the first woman race car driver to succeed on the level she succeeded on, okay? They told her she had a gender deficit because she was a female. Had she bought into that press, we would not been blessed with her gifts. Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice supposedly had a speed deficit. He can't run. He won't be able to keep up in the NFL. Besides, he's from a Division II school. Had Jerry Rice got caught up in his own press and listened to the perception of people, we would have never been blessed with questionably the best football player to ever lace up the cleats. This is what it's about, people. Don't let perception, and mainly your own, getting fixated on your own thoughts, being scared that you're going to be exposed. Don't allow it to limit your life, to limit you for fulfilling and living a high impact life. Be all you can be, people. Controlling the controllables. I really like this. I really like this. You ever hear the phrase of, don't worry about what you can't control? All of you have heard that before. You know, the weather, you're fixated, you're pressed all day, you're experiencing anxiety because this is supposed to be the night out with the girls, or the fellas are hanging out, or you got a big event. You're worrying about the weather when the weather is going to be what it's going to be. It's fixed. It's an uncontrollable. Don't worry about the weather. Traffic. Oh, I hope the expressway is not crowded. Oh, you're actually building stress from thinking and worrying about traffic? It's fixed. It's nothing you can do if it's traffic. I got advice for you, because we all do this at some time in our lives. But this is the advice for you, right? Identify what's controllable and what's non-controllable, all right? I know it's very difficult to do, especially in your entire life. So make it situational. Whenever you encounter a situation, assess the situation. Identify what's controllable aspects of the situation and what's non-controllable aspects. That's first. The next thing, this is very difficult. Force yourself not to be concerned with the uncontrollables. It's very hard. You're forcing yourself not to worry about the weather. Forcing yourself not to worry about if the bus is late or the train is late. You're forcing yourself not to worry about traffic, even though it's an issue and it throws your balance off, but you have to force yourself not to worry about it, okay? Now this is how you attack the controllables. See, this is how you get the edge in life, people. I'm so excited about this because I can't wait to get this to you. Listen, by ignoring the uncontrollables, you're saving all of your energy, right? So when you are faced with a controllable situation, bang, go all out. Floor to the metal. You going all out on the controllables. Completing tasks, treating people right, being on time, sharing love, receiving love, treating your family right, being responsible. All of these things are controllables. This is how you get the edge in life. Go all out on these things and don't worry about the uncontrollables, because that's what everybody else is going to do. This is how you get the edge. Listen, I got some great advice for you guys other than the advice that I've already been giving you. This is the one best advice I can give you for establishing and maintaining a great healthy balance. Y'all ready? I mean, y'all just staring at me. Are y'all really ready for this? All right, here we go. This is how you maintain a great balance. This is the best advice I can give you. No matter what happens in your life, good, bad, or indifferent, no matter when it happens or how it happens, just assume that it happened the right way. Just assume that everything that happens in your life is perfect. I never said it was easy. I said it was the best advice I can give you. If you can get this down packed, the quality of your life will raise 100, 200, 300 fold. I guarantee it. In closing, just want to tell you, the next show we're going to discuss 10 ways to conquer a system. And why do I choose a system? It goes hand in hand with being balanced in your life. In order to be balanced, you have to view every aspect of your life as a system. That way you'll slow things down. See, what happens is this. If you continue to be reactive in life and you just see things when they're right in front of you as they come, then you never have any control over the outcome, because you're constantly dodging and you're getting things and you're in a desperate state. But see, if you're proactive, then you can see before it even comes. You can see the angle they're throwing it from. You can even anticipate it. So just remember, being reactive will always have you chasing balance. Being proactive will always have you experiencing balance. So definitely try to be proactive in and throughout your life. As you all know, I only have one more show after this in which I'll be talking to you like this, and then all the other shows, there will be interviews. Did I tell y'all I really appreciate y'all? Did I tell y'all that today? I really appreciate y'all from viewing the Marc Baxter Show, where empowerment is unlimited. And if you ever wonder, how do you start doing any of this or incorporating it into your life? This is what you do, right? This is what you do. Just go. get up off the couch, put your clothes on, stop making excuses, and just go.